y'all. Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. So I'm on my way from worked a 12-hour shift, and I am so tired, and I feel like I'd rather talk to myself. Well, by the time y'all see this, it'll be me talking to y'all. But for now, feels like I'm talking to myself. But at least that will keep me up until I get home. Working the overnight shift is really kicking my butt these days. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story of how me and my husband met. Chris is my husband's name. So I was born in Jamaica, and I came here when I was about 13, 14, I think, around that. And I actually came here on his birthday. Mind you, I didn't know him at the time. We ended up going to 8th grade together. I kind of knew him, a little bit. I knew of him, but I didn't really know him like that. Then we went to high school together. Now, in high school, we all had the same friends, but I still wasn't into him like that. I had heard rumors that he liked me in high school. But again, the group that he was hanging with, I knew them, and we were all just, we were all just friends. Y'all, this lady is on the side of the road sleeping. Lord bless her. But so we had mutual friends. 4 years in high school. Then senior year comes around, and he wanted to ask me out on a date, for prom date. But he told his friends, which were my friends as well, and they ended up telling me before he even asked me. So I didn't want him to feel bad, so I was like, sure, I'll go with you. We went to prom together, and after prom, I went home because I knew what them boys were doing after prom. So after prom, I made sure that I took my butt home because I was not with that foolishness. So after we graduated high school, I saw him probably like one or twice. And then he slid in back then it was MySpace. So he started messaging me on MySpace, and he'll make little comments under my pictures. Oh, I'm gonna marry you one day, you're gonna be my wife, blah blah blah. And I was like, dude, whatever. So then we had a mutual friend, actually one of his best friend at the time, that me and him was dating. And long story short, just say this friend of his, did me wrong, and I was mad at him. I was super mad at him. I was heartbroken. And Chris was mad at him because he did Chris wrong. So we just genuinely didn't like this guy. We had something in common. We both didn't like this guy. So he started texting me, and then I started telling him about why this person made me mad, and we just started, bashing this man. I'm venting, he's venting to me. we're venting to each other about this person. So after a few days of that, we were like, okay, I think we've had enough of talking about this guy. And we started talking about, me and him. And, one thing lead to another. We hang out, a few weeks or whatever. Then I was like, look, I think it was like probably 6 months of us being official that I was like, oh, let me back up. So he didn't even propose to me. I didn't even have the go on your knee kind of, one knee thing. Will you marry me? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. No, I didn't have that. Because 6 months in the relationship, I was like, look, I done been with a bunch of guys. Well, let me correct that. I wasn't with a bunch of guys. But I've been with a few failed relationships. And I just didn't want to have to waste my time if it wasn't going anywhere. Because, I was a saint. I wasn't out here like that. So I told him, I was like, look, it's either you gonna marry me or we need to break up and you can go find somebody else that you want to play with, because I'm about that life. Like, I'm ready to settle down and be with one person. So I was like, is that what you want? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. 6 months? He was like, yeah, okay. 6 months, and that was it. So I don't even know if I proposed to him or we just came to a mutual agreement that in 6 months we're gonna get married. I don't know what that was, but that's how that happened. So this was almost 11 years ago. So we got married. I was in school still, so we didn't have this big wedding. We had a very small thing, very personal thing, just a few family members. And I finished school. We got married. I finished school, and then 3 years later, oh Lord, this person is driving too close. And 3 years later, we had our baby girl Ariel, and he wants more kids. Ariel want a sibling, but I have to tell y'all that story of why I'm scared to have more kids. But that would be another day, another morning, maybe next week when I'm going home and I'm tired. But yeah, guys, so that's how me and Chris met, and we've been married for, come July will be 11 years. The first few years, and I feel like most marriage, the first few years are the worst. I mean, we didn't live together before we got married, so just that, I would say 3 to 5 years, like, I'm sure I was getting on his nerves. He got on my nerves a lot. We didn't know how we were. I'm very private. I like things done certain ways. I like things to be where they need to be. He's like the opposite. Not that he's messy a little bit, but he just not me. So we had to learn how to really compromise on a lot of stuff. And I mean, it was just hard in the beginning. Just learning to live with somebody, learning to be around somebody 24/7. I mean, that was very, because I wasn't used to that. He was living in his house. I was living in apartments, before we got together. So it was weird, and we had to learn how to live together in one house and be around each other all the time and see each other all the time. And I get in my moods where I just want my alone time, but God was always there, and I'm sure he probably felt that way, like, okay, I need space. And then when we get mad, it's like I couldn't just pack my stuff up and go, or I couldn't, you know, in the movies you slam the door and be dramatic and throw stuff down and leave. I couldn't do that. He couldn't do that. So it was a lot. I mean, people, it was a lot that we had to learn, but I would not trade it for the world, because that's my person. And God blessed me with a man that, you know, love God with all his heart. And I think that's what made him different from every other guy that I dated, is because he knew the Bible, he knew the word, he prayed. I mean, the first time I heard Chris prayed, God forgive me for saying this, but I was like, oh my God, I was ready. I mean, in the name of Jesus, I was ready. But it's just that when he prayed, it touched every, you know, keep it PG-13, but just, he can pray. And that was very different from every other guy. I don't even think the guys that I dated before even go to church, to be honest. And Chris would take me to church. His dad is a pastor. His mom is in the church. I mean, everybody is in the church. And I was out there. I was a cusser, you know, but I'm delivered. Thank you, Jesus. And he didn't smoke. I was a smoker, but again, I'm delivered. So it was all these, I would say, these little things that showed me that, okay, this is who I need to be. But like, I remember when we started dating, or we just got married, and times were kind of, you know, a little hard because I was in school and I wasn't working. I think he had just got laid off, so we both weren't working, and he was never worried, and I worry about every little thing. You know, I need to work on that. I'm praying on that. But I would worry, and I would always get mad because I'm like, we don't know how we're gonna pay the rent or pay the light bill next month, and this man just, like, to me, it just seemed like he didn't care. But, you know, after a while, I realized it's not that he didn't care. He just had so much faith that he knew he was going to be okay. I remember he would be praying and he would say, you know, God is not going to let him suffer because he's a child of God. And that really just stirred up something in me, because I honestly started, like, my faith grew a lot because of him, because I would see how much faith he would have in God, and just how he would just pray on things, and he never worried. Like, he never worried, because he would always, you know, he knew that, okay, my Father is going to take care of me no matter what. So that, all these things are just so precious in him. And I feel like every marriage should be based on God. Like, you should build a foundation. Now, I'm not an expert. I'm just talking from personal experience. But if you have a strong foundation, then whatever you build on that foundation is gonna be strong. And I feel like if you have God in your life, and if you base your marriage on God, y'all are gonna work. I hate to see when people, get divorces and break up and separate or whatever the case is. But he always said that's not in his DNA. Like his parents been married for, I'm about to be 35. I think they've been married for like 36 years or something like that. So they've been married for a long time, and he look up to them and I look up to them. But so y'all, it's been 15 minutes. I'm almost home. I thank you guys for watching and for listening to my story. I hope that something I said will bring comfort to you. It will bring joy to you. It will, give you some motivation to go find you a man or a woman that is blessed and highly favored, or not. I mean, it's up to you. And it might be even, I don't know, because I'm so tired that I'm probably delirious. I probably don't even know what I'm saying right now, to be honest. I don't even know what I already said. But I thank you guys for watching, and my family, thank you, everyone, for supporting us and just allowing us to be a part of this YouTube world, and for allowing me to be able to open up and talk. And I know a lot of people know that I'm, quiet and I'm reserved, but I'm really not. But I thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you guys want more story time. I have a lot. All right, you guys have a good day.